This is the driver's seat, the Horses and Horsepower series.
We're in our orange and purple silks here, breaking from post 9. You can tell it's really dark out. It's pouring rain. It's on Valentine's Day. This is how I like to spend my Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Going into the race, so we bought this horse out of a claiming race. So there's certain races where horses are entered for a certain price tag. Basically, it's a way to kind of keep the playing field level. So if you enter a horse worth 30,000 for 20,000, you might win the race, but someone's going to buy the horse off of you. Versus if you enter a horse that's worth 20,000 to 50,000, no one's going to take you, but you might run like fifth, sixth, or last. So we're running here. It's a one-turn race, so there's either routes where they go 2 turns like the Derby, or here it's a sprint, so it's 1 turn. He's going 3/4 of a mile, so they call it 6 furlongs, aka 1 furlong equals 1/8 of a mile, so 6 out of 8 is 3/4 of a mile.
Yep.
He's actually 3 years old, facing olders, so it's really key at this point in the year. It's early in the year, February. It really behooves you to be older in these sprinting kind of races, especially because a horse will do a lot of maturing from 2 to 3 and from 3 to 4 especially. So you're going in kind of thinking, okay, he kind of may be the freshman facing varsity opponents. He kind of needs to develop a little bit more. So I'm going into this race telling people, hey, 3rd, 4th year is a good result. Not expecting too much. He had run in the wet right before. He actually won the race we took him out of in the wet. So I'm like, okay, maybe at least he likes the wet surface. We're just hoping to break well. Like he won his last race on the lead. So in these sprints, it definitely helps to be on the pace as well. So we're hoping he just brace well, gets on the lead, and gets in position, and don't go too fast early. He's able to kind of kick away. So after the bat, I'm kind of watching. It's really hard to see because it's super dark and it's raining. I'm watching outside next to my buddy Hooch with his binoculars on. Right away, we kind of see, okay, we break pretty well. He actually breaks inward. So you kind of can see orange cap here.
Mhm.
He breaks inward a bit, and the jockey has to correct him a little bit to kind of get him going straight. Actually kind of worked out well for us, kind of cleared a few horses. The 11's a big favorite here that we were worried about, off a bit of a layoff. But when you're watching a horse race and you own a horse and you're sitting second going into the, only turn in a sprint race, you're like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Really no excuses here. Like you kind of wait for that opening quarter to flash, as long as it's like less than, uh, if it was like 20, if it was like 21 flat, we'd be a little bit more concerned. But like 21, almost 22 seconds, you're like, all right, really no excuse here. You kind of wait for this, half mile. Okay, did they go in like 44? Did they go in 46? Once again, you kind of want those 12s. So you're kind of hoping something around like 45 and like 3/4 or 46. You see like 45.5 seconds. Okay, not bad. Here's his moment here. He's battling with the horse that was inside. He's battling with early. Kicks right by him, and kind of just kicks away and has a good time doing it. So
Yeah.
I mean, something to note too is like not a lot of horses really were able to make up ground. So kind of a question you have is, okay, was it just that he broke well and the track, especially when it's wet, favors horses that are on the lead early? So that's a question for you, as well as a question that you'll have is, okay, did he run really well just because, it was the wet surface, or can he replicate it in the dry surface? You kind of see his tongue sticking out here. They actually tie the horse's tongue before the race, so that way, it's not in their way. They don't block their airway.
Yeah.
And you could see we're 17-1, so we were huge long shots, and the horse has come back around, cools out, and then again we get our picture taken in the winner's circle. But obviously, being a big long shot, 3-year-old facing older, like nothing but happy vibes here for
Yeah.
sure.
That's
And
awesome.
really, the race is won. Really from the break here, he broke really sharp. Got over, and then kind of did all the work he needed to do. It was a really nice ride from the jock, and he kind of got it his way. So you got to kind of ask yourself, all right, if he didn't get his way, what would happen? But when you're standing in the winner's circle, you're really not asking too many questions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, congrats to you guys. I mean, that's awesome. It's really cool to see like this behind the scenes type of thing. Because I mean, if I'm just watching this by myself, I'm just thinking, no, you know, you just had a more injury or something and got it done. But there's a lot that goes on behind it. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I think what's the fun part about horse racing too is each race is a story itself. You kind of have
Yeah.
the different human connections of the horses themselves, like who the trainers and jockeys are, like who owns the horses. There's definitely some drama there for sure, but there's all like 11 or 12 lined up here and maybe two scratched. I think honestly 11 lined up. They all the horses too have their own stories in terms
Yeah.
of they're running here for 32. So every horse is on sale for 32,000, and all of them have never won two races. So they've all won at least one race in their life. They're all 3-year old and older. So they've all had like one of the coolest parts too is they've got on the human side, so the people that like are on the program, the owner, the trainer, the jockey, there's also the person that might have bought the horse, the person that might have picked the breeding, the people that actually worked with, the mom to like, help with the birth and then the people that helped with the horse throughout his entire career. So when you see a horse win a big race or win any race, it's the number of people that maybe tuning in because they have a connection to the horse is probably upwards of like 25 to 50, depending on the horse, in terms
Yeah.
of how many times it's changed hands, the whole 9 yards.
Hmm.
So there's the human side as well as like there's a story to tell too in terms of, okay, I think these horses are going to be near the front. They typically don't go that fast. This horse can sit off, and then they break, and then all hell breaks loose, and it kind of all filters out from there. So there's a story to tell, both from the human side as well as kind of what goes on on the track for each horse race.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. All the stuff goes on behind it. There's a lot of research for me to do later to figure out all how everything connects together for
Yeah,
sure.
it's definitely like not as fun as, breaking down one of your races where you can go, oh, I can improve this, we can improve that.
Yeah.
Really like from the ownership side of things, it's like, all right, the jockey do his job, clearly yes, and this scenario. And then you're pretty much just watching, okay, if we didn't win, all right, like was the horse tiring at the end? Do we need to shorten his race? Do we need to lengthen his race? Do we need to like drop them down in class, maybe instead of running for 32,000, running for 20,000 against like, easier competition. Like now our question is like, okay, do we step them up in class? If so, how much?
Hmm.
And there's a lot of data that kind of goes on in terms of like converting these, raw times into a score, we call it a speed figure that compares, okay, like how the track was playing here versus, how the track would be playing on a dry track, in California, because like
Yeah.
you can just look at raw times and compare it. You have to kind of compare it against like a track variance they call it. So there's a ton of data and stuff like that goes into it, but there's not too much like film breakdown we can really do
Yeah.
outside of where do we want to put this horse next? Do we have does the trainer like doing the best he can do? Does the jockey do the best he can do? And we can really only hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. That's really cool.
But yeah, ton of fun, and we'll look forward to the next race breakdown here soon.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah. Thank you.